Hello everyone and welcome back to Sudden Wealth. I hope you guys are doing very well. If you do enjoy the content, please consider dropping that like and subscribe. As you guys know, it's the only thing that I ask. Now, this video will probably be shadow banned, but I need to talk about a few things, or I think I should cover a few things. So in 2 weeks' time, we're going to have the US election. As I've argued before, I think if she wins, we get a 2020-2021 kind of cycle. If he wins, I think we get a 2016-2017 kind of cycle. Now, I'm not an American. I don't live in the US. So to me, I'm a bit more pragmatic in the assessment of things. So, I mean, while I completely disagree with open border policies and with capital gains tax on unrealized gains, which to me it's something completely out of this world. This is communist style of economics. I mean, at the end of the day, since I don't live in the US, it doesn't really impact me directly. Although I feel sorry, obviously, for the people who would be in a situation like this, it's not really, it's not really punishing me on a day-to-day basis or anything like that. Although you can argue that the US usually sets the precedent for stupidity across the planet, so you can tell that it may maybe harm other regions by contagion. In any case, I'm not going to deal with it day to day. Now, what I care most is whatever is linked to my investments, so that's the personal selfish side, if you will, and then it's the international piece, which I think with him you get, with her you don't. In fact, if you listen to him speak across several podcasts, by the way, I'm a huge wrestling fan, and to see Trump in the Undertaker podcast, to me, it's like almost like a dream come true, if you will. I would never believe that this would be possible for a presidential candidate to go to the Undertaker's podcast. He was my favorite wrestler when I was growing up. And, he's always talking about deals, stop the violence, we need to reach an agreement, we need to try to find common ground, we need to find some peace, we need to find a way to move forward. With her is always the words threat, war, conflict, attacks. We need to defend ourselves, blah, all this kind of stuff. Like there's never a conversation of, hey, let's see if we can find a way to stop what's going on, right? No, it's never like that. So to me, I also have a vested interest, obviously, that I want, not just for humanitarian reasons, but if you will, also for selfish reasons, that we end this type of conflict. So in that sense, if I would be in the US, I would vote for him. And if I look at Polymarket, he's now at 66% to win. Now, mind you that about a month ago, they were 50-50. Now it's 66-34. So I hope, that this keeps on being like this. I think the early votes have actually been better than expected compared to previous years, etc. And he does seem very calm, very poised, very in control. I don't know if, trying to kill him 3 times led to this, but it's good to see that it doesn't seem very unhinged. Now, when you go to the markets, once again, the bonds have been failing. That level, that was 93.70, we dropped below it. So, I mean, 91.5 should be a strong support area, but it depends a little bit on when we start to price in further and more aggressive rate cuts. That's going to be the key, to be honest, going forward. And obviously, I think if he wins, it's probably good for the markets in the sense that people think, okay, we should get lower inflation, lower taxes. He will push for lower interest rates, blah, blah, blah. So you get the drill. Stocks have sold off a little bit, nothing special, but enough for people to go crazy once again. So this is actually quite surprising. And even Bitcoin. Bitcoin has been the worst in the sense that we went to 69,000 and then today we touched 66,800 or something. And now we are at 67,500. So basically we are at Sunday's price. On Sunday, we went or on Saturday, sorry, I don't remember which, but we went to 67.5 for a while, and then eventually we went above 68. The point being, we are like a week ago price, and people are already scared. Now, what I want to say is, in the bull markets, you have red weeks, you have red days, you have retracements, you have retests. If you can't deal with this, it's going to be very painful for you. Of course, you need to understand that if you go to the other channels, you're going to get the content in line with the color of the chart. So if the chart is red, you're going to get end of the world, cycle stopped, Bitcoin fails, look out below, this kind of stuff. If it's green, everything is hunky-dory, all-time highs next week, all-time highs in 2 days, Bitcoin 100K in November. I mean, it is what it is. You can have the same person predicting Bitcoin 100K by the end of the year, and then Bitcoin 50K by the end of the year. So complete total opposite of predictions. It's all driven to keep you interested and to keep you coming to the channel. Like, for example, the case of Hoppy. Hoppy simply retested its previous all-time highs. That's it. Andy is more than 2x its recent lows, like 3 weeks ago. Boppy is still 50% or close to 50% above the point of entry that I got in actually a week ago, where I got in at 608K market cap. It's now at 835. Did it go to 2.5 million? Sure. Did I sell? Not yet. Am I concerned if it goes to 500K? Not really. Can it go down? Sure. Can it actually go to zero? Yes. That's the science of volatility ticket. It can go to zero. I can lose all my money in Boppy. That's why I don't place $10,000 bets. I place maybe $1,000. But the point is, for example, in the case of people in Boppy, there are people who are up 10x and 20x. They will take profit. This is something that will always happen. You're going to have coins that will correct 60, 65, 75, even 85% after major runs. And the only way to succeed, in my opinion, is you need to be prepared for it. You need to be, you know that is coming, and you need to live through it. There's going to be a time where crypto will go pretty much up and a lot up every single day. Or, I don't know, 5 times in a week. So 5 days in a week and two days red. And actually, you can have drawdowns of 40% in one single day, even for larger market cap coins. And that's the euphoria part. That's when we are getting to the craziness and people are starting to guess the top. And when they sell, they don't sell a little bit, they sell 80% of their position, thinking they caught the top. But then it does a 4, 5, 6x from there in a very short time period, and they have the tendency of coming in very late and rebuying close to the tops, and then the whole thing tanks, and within 3 days they are 80% down their money, but this time it doesn't come back. So this is something that will happen this cycle as well. And are we in peak euphoria? No. I don't think we're even close to peak euphoria. I think the majority of retail is still not even here. So what we usually do in markets, and it's just not just crypto, it's in general, is we price for perfection. But when I say price for perfection, you have the ultimate perfection. Those are the conditions of 2021. You're talking low inflation, max liquidity, driven from money printing, both Treasury and Fed at the same time. You're talking no one can see anything going wrong in the next 5 years. You can see nor one single person is predicting recession. There's nothing wrong foreseeable for the future. So that's when you get the real euphoria, That's when Coinbase gets to be the number one downloaded app in Google Store and Apple Store. Those kind of crazy. This is when Post Malone is paying $500K for a picture of a monkey, where LeBron James is reportedly going to be paid in Bitcoin. This kind of stuff. We are nowhere near that. Now, what could be when I say, okay, we were approaching price for perfection, is price for perfection within the conditions we are in today. So, for example, that means we are priced for perfection for 4% interest rates, for conflicts in Europe and in the Middle East, for higher inflation, you see what I mean? So we are priced for perfection in this environment. Obviously, if you improve the environment or if you improve the perception of the environment, then the price for perfection shifts a gear up. So for example, let's say that he wins, right? And let's say that he solves the European conflict very quickly. So that now you jump, okay, so now you remove a negative part of the environment and you price for perfection a little bit up. Now let's say that he pushes for interest rates to be cut in half and inflation keeps on going down and down and down. Okay, now you jump another one in the layer of priced for perfection. Now let's say that he ends the conflict in the Middle East. Now you jump another layer of perfect conditions. You see the point? And what would be the ultimate perfection? At least, let's say, for crypto in our markets. That would be no conflicts, neither in Europe or the Middle East, low inflation, interest rates back to close to zero, or zero really, economic data picking up, AI pushing through. Oh yeah, because, by the way, if he's lucky, let's say he wins on November 5th, if he's lucky, he may catch the first real boom in productivity driven by AI. And he may risk being remembered as a great president, although it's not him driving the AI. You see the point, right? It's the private sector that drives the innovation, but he may be linked to an era of prosperity driven by AI if he manages to succeed, obviously. So what I'm saying is, let's say you are next year, right? And you have no conflicts in Europe or the Middle East. You have overall low interest rates across the globe. Inflation is either 1% or close to it. Productivity is picking up and improving with AI. Economic growth is above trend. Liquidity is at max, at the max, push to the max. And inflation, as I mentioned, is very low. And all of these things are happening. Now and then he announces the Bitcoin strategic reserve. That may be the real top. Because think about it. Everything is perfect. Like, how can you have something beyond that? See the point? Of course, I mean, if he says, we're going to buy 10,000 Bitcoin regardless of price. The price can be $1 million, we just buy 10,000, that's it, we don't care. Then obviously everyone needs to price in, oh my God, we have an unlimited buyer. And then all bets are off. Then it's anybody's guess, right? But if he just says, yeah, we're going to have a strategic reserve and we're going to move the coins that we had in the DOJ to that wallet, do you really exert buying pressure? No. You remove an item of sell pressure. If we are in all of these conditions, fairly world peace, low inflation, low interest rates, liquidity pushed to the max, low inflation, as I said, higher productivity, higher GDP growth, etc., and then this thing happens, that may well be the top. Because basically, what is the next layer of perfection? It's a fair question. Does it mean it's going to be 100% the top? No. It means there's a good probability that it's going to be. But then, as everything, the devil is in the details. Because as I've mentioned, if he says that they're going to buy whatever Bitcoin, whatever the price is, but then European Union does the same, and then China and Russia decide to compete and do the same, and then Japan does that. You see the point, right? Then anything is possible. Then $5 million Bitcoin is possible. Am I predicting it? No, I haven't seen any. Any reason to believe so at this stage. Do I wish it happens? Of course, I wish it happens. Do you understand? If Bitcoin goes to like 1 million, my altcoins will go. I mean, then you get to the level of generational wealth, right? Not just the level of financial independence. But those are fantasies at this stage. We take it step by step. We relax, we breathe, we analyze, we step back, and we don't follow the clickbait and the end of the world predictions. And with that, thank you very much for your support. Please drop that like and subscribe. Help me out with the algo, because I get the real feeling that this video is going to be shadow banned. And with that, I'll catch you in the next one.